welcome everyone. We have had some issues with our Factor 2 unfortunately today. We deeply apologize for this delay in the streaming. Unfortunately we had to fix something, we had to do some tricks and fix the game, but now we're fully operative to enjoy this great season finale at Daytona. The season finale of the S397 Endurance Series, brought to you by SimRacingOnline. Go check these guys out at simracingonline.co.uk. And yeah, we're now slightly under the 2-hour mark. David Capruzzi leading in GT class. Johnny Gutierrez, the LMP2 leader currently. He is now 20 seconds clear from Harper. Joe Brown, P2, is still pretty close to Capruzzi at the front. Barrett Eriksson, the championship standing leader, needs the top 5 finish to seal the deal and become the S397 driver champion. Johnny Gutierrez already got the title last time around, but nonetheless, it's going to be a hell of a race today. GT class especially are still pretty close. The top 5 is all tucked in 30 seconds. Harper now trying to keep up with Johnny Gutierrez's pace. We know Johnny has a cracking pace. Labelle holding with a good P3 after a few difficult races. Unfortunately, Jason Whitehead, retired. We're not sure why, because we weren't there, but him and Hintz are out of the race. The only 4 guys left in LMP2 are Johnny Gutierrez in P1, Harper P2, Labelle P3, a great impression by Labelle, and Da Silva, I think he's a rookie by the way, in P4. Daytona being the final track of this championship. Obviously we will be back here with the IMSA series shortly, but
somebody got a penalty.
Still,
do you notice that?
This is one of the most unique tracks we've ever seen on this championship, so it will be pretty interesting to see if the general trend will be confirmed here. Capruzzi is leading now with 8 seconds towards Joe Brown in P2.
Sorry to cut you off, but Roger Haynes might have got a penalty. I'm sorry, I said that before, but I was pushed it off, so I had to put it back on pause activity.
Oh yeah, Roger Haynes had a penalty?
Yeah, he had a penalty. I saw that on data. He looks like he got a penalty. Not sure from what though.
But he is DNF though, so maybe something happened afterward. I'm pretty sure something must have happened to him because he's DNF at the moment. And when the game says you're DNF, you're not going to get back into the race, unfortunately. So
yeah, I thought that too.
Tough luck for John Vidiguest as well. He's DNF as well.
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
That's a major blow because he is now out of control. Who the guy in P2 was in GT class. I should check that. What a setting this is though. Isn't it nice?
Last race, the 2 Pastore guys were in P1 and P2. Today they are not racing.
Yeah, the Pastore guys seems not, because they've been the dominating ones, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah, the Pastore brothers were really on all the rounds. We have seen them dominating the Turkish Grand Prix at Istanbul. They really put on a show for us with the Ferrari and the BMW. Then they did the same in the last race, so it's kind of a bummer, honestly, to not see them race today at Daytona. Joe Brown now cutting the lead short to 6.5 seconds. is now trying to recover from the Porsche in P1, Porsche driven by David Capuzzi, leading effectively the GT class. This will be a great win for Capuzzi if he can pull this off. Nigel Middleton there under pressure from Bart Ericsson. Bart Ericsson is just 1 second behind him. So the fight for in GT class is still pretty much going on. There we see the BMW's Bart Ericsson becoming bigger and bigger in Nigel Middleton rear view. The red Porsche trying to keep him honest behind him. Bart Ericsson has such a good traction out of the horseshoe now. It will really be interesting to see how these drivers approach the bus stop, because that's the game changer in the lap time. Oh, the BMW is so strong under braking. It was able to cut the lead to almost half of what it was towards the Porsche. Nigel Middleton really having to make that car work, because it's wanting to use more track rather than a BMW now as they go into the speedway section.
Porsche is running with a low wind. Otherwise, he should not be able to stay there. The BMW is more faster.
For sure, Sam. It looks like. I mean, I'm gonna say my opinion that I'm missing the bus story guys, because they've been giving us some good. Like you see guys pushing the cars and trying to, you know, be doing best laps every lap, yet still keeping it clean, which was really fun to watch in the last race. It's unfortunate that we don't get to see it again. Hopefully in other series.
Yeah, but let's now focus on Bart Ericsson, because this guy, man, he has been the star of the championship. He's now putting David Capuzzi under pressure. Nigel Middleton under pressure. This is gonna be. This is the closest fight on the track as of now, and also. We do know that Ericsson is the most patient between these drivers. He's been able to exploit every single opportunity without really pushing it, apparently. From judging from the outside, from the commentary box, he was the cleaner one, the one that really was not out of shape most of the time, at least, and he was able to capitalize on other guys' mistakes. So let's see what happens today. We're not even close to the half of the race, and
No.
look at this already. The GT cars are from P3 to P5. They're in 5 seconds, so they're still very close. And Jens Roos is in P5, confirming what we were saying about him in the last few races. Jens Roos really coming alive in the closing stages of the season. There we see Ericsson approaching the bus stop, leaning on those curbs. Perfect trajectory through there.
Very clean.
Yeah, very clean. The Porsche was able to gap the BMW a little bit. Not sure if Ericsson made a
time with
mistake.
LMP.
Oh yeah, it was compromised by traffic there. This is a major factor in endurance racing, especially multi-class racing. Lapped cars can really be the game changer. If you're unlucky with the timing, or a DPI basically is battling with another one in front of you, you can really lose time, even if you're a slower car. And
Especially if you find
basically
traffic
take,
into one.
yes, you have to take evasive action, and not all parts of the track allow you to do that. Especially here at Daytona.
It can come to your advantage or your disadvantage. You see a lot of people making the LMP cars to get past the other cars, especially the GT.
Yeah, you have to exploit every little situation that you get, because you don't know whether it will be you next time around who will get compromised. So it's really that what makes the difference between the winning driver and the losing driver, really. Being able to use every single opportunity to gain time, to use less track, and basically cut the lap time, because that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, after all, that's what it's all about. Yeah, my apologies if my voice been a little bit low. We've been having a lot of issues today, haven't we?
Yeah, our Factor 2 being a Factor 2, I guess, with a few hiccups, you could say.
You were talking about John Roos. What you recovered on Berg-Eriksson?
Yeah, Jens Roos really able to cut the gap down now to 2 seconds from Berg-Eriksson. The
Push
Ferrari
that
really
Ferrari.
working well at this stage, really good looking car. And yeah, let's keep an eye on him because this guy was on fire at Road America and he was really good in Turkey as well. A bit of a lucky situation cut him off a little bit, but yes, I'm really impressed by what he's been able to produce in the last few races. And now he's coming down towards Berg-Eriksson as we see Andrew Harper now having his pit stop in from P2 in LMP2. Johnny Gutierrez, the number 46 Oreca car, comfortably leading. He has now dispatched David Capruzzi, the leader in GT class. So you're looking at the 2 leaders in this shot.
Very clean.
Very clean line through the bus stop. Johnny Gutierrez is really showing how it's done.
Yeah, Johnny Gutierrez has been putting a lot of good shows lately in the last races. He's been having good fights with Tony Talviti. I think this race will put him in the champion winner, if I'm not mistaken.
And he's pitting as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's going
so
for
Harper and Gutierrez really going at it. Harper is now exiting the pit lane as Johnny Gutierrez comes in. So that tells you a lot about the pit stop times and also the gap that Johnny Gutierrez had on P2. Really amazing to see these drivers going at it through the entire season. This has been no exception today.
Absolutely not. It's been on fire the whole races. These people don't hold. Like, you don't see them conserving. Some of them actually, I would go and say Berg-Eriksson plays the smart game, which pays off for him a lot of time. But most of the guys, they always trying to get that track position to maximize the result.
Oh, look at LaBelle.
Yeah, that's not
right there. Positioning his car.
I mean,
so
Gutierrez
really has to work for it.
Yeah, he could have angled his car a little bit for the exit.
Yes, great piece of strategy there by LaBelle.
Yeah, look at that.
You gotta play with every little possibility you have.
Yeah, it's a mind game now. It's just a
yes, it's a psychological war, and I will say this: even for the next series that these drivers are gonna go into, this is a psychological game because you're actually showing the world champion that you're able to read his moves. You're there as he is. So that's a message you want to deliver. That's pretty good. That's pretty good to see.
I mean, a mental warfare has always been a part of the game.
Yes. Jens Roos is really cutting down the gap now. He's all over Berg-Eriksson.
And we've had a lot of DNF these races. What a shame. I mean, it's almost 5 cars already.
It's a shame. I was eager to watch Jason Whitehead go at it once again because Whitehead has been able to keep the LMP2 at bay every time it got out of shape under tricky situations. And I would have really liked to see him in the dry condition here at Daytona.
It would have been nice to have him with us for sure, but I'm not sure what happened that he got DNF, because 5 guys, this is kind of... It doesn't happen at this early stage of the race, so...
No, it usually doesn't. And Whitehead and Hinz are both front runners usually, so...
They are front runners, yeah. They're always in the podiums, if not possibly winning the race, unless something wrong happens like we saw in Turkey. But overall, they're always putting good show, always in a position to snatch podium every time.
Jens Roos is 1.3 seconds now behind Berg-Eriksson. The Ferrari is looking better in the second sector, the technical part of the track. Now, Daytona is not a very technical track, so the top speed really helps you out, building a breathing space in the speedway section. The Ferrari has a lower center of gravity that does benefit you in the corners, but it's not really the game changer in the top speed. It's a very streamlined car nonetheless, so the BMW is showing the engine power really. That car is a powerful engine really. Berg-Eriksson has been able to... I think the BMW really fits him in a way. And we see Andrew
Harper going. Yeah. Wonder what.
Losing it at the horseshoe. That's turn 1, isn't it?
Yeah, that corner always puts issue to the drivers. You can't really, you can't really predict what the car is going to do, especially the braking. You're going like uphill, downhill, trying to lower speed while also your speed is too high. It's always been a tricky corner to get it right.
Yeah, that's such a shame though. He was recovering towards Gutierrez, as now Da Silva got a penalty for speeding into the pit lane. We have seen many times people getting cut off by the pit limiter on American tracks lately, and Gil Da Silva, really unfortunate situation for him.
Yeah, that's gonna cost him a lap, but it's a long race.
That's gonna be very costly.
He's not out of the game yet, in my opinion.
No, he's battling with Labelle mainly, but that's for a podium place. That's pretty big. As the night is gonna fall down now on Daytona, look at the light ablaze on that.
Yeah, it's gonna get dark in here, isn't it?
It's a beautiful setting, really. This track.
David Capuzzi is only 3 seconds ahead of Joe Brown. This is not a.
Now Joe Brown is closing up on the leader.
3 seconds.
I'm not sure what happens. Not sure what happened to Jens Roos, but he's now 3 seconds behind Barrett Ericsson. Maybe a DPI car, LMP2 car cut him off. As yellow flags in sector 2, maybe somebody went wide. Capuzzi coming down to lap Rob Milliken. Rob Milliken running in P7 at the moment. Yeah, still on the lead lap, so pretty good.
So from what I understand, Lorenzo, is that Barrett Ericsson needs to finish anywhere in the top 5 in order to secure the championship. What a great news!
Yes, I think though I'm not sure about this because I haven't seen the standings. I don't remember who the guy in P2, the runner-up was. I believe that Johnny Vitigas being out of the race actually helps Ericsson tremendously. Joe Brown is P2 though, so Ericsson really needs to hold on to that 4th place.
Well, I have the list here, and Barrett Ericsson is leading by 33 points of Joe Brown, and followed by Jen Roos and Didier Colloway in the standing. John Vitigas is in the 5th place. They're only being separated by 15, 4, 6, 33 respectively, and like I said, Barrett Ericsson doesn't really need to do much here. He literally needs to make sure he finishes this race. As the worst position he can do here is P4. So pretty much, even if he DNF'd, I assume, I don't know how points are distributed. I don't think there's any points or regulation towards that, but I'm sure that it doesn't matter. You still get the points. So theoretically, or provisionally, I would say, he is a champion. If we're not trying to jinx it for the guy.
Hopefully we're not jinxing it.
I'm sorry, Lorenzo. I was speaking
people out the last
I was looking, Lorenzo. It's not bad, dude. I was looking at the LMP cars, thinking it's the GT cars because we have only 4. But I'm sorry, we have 8 cars. So yeah, Barrett Ericsson actually has to stay in that P4. My apologies. We've been going through a lot.
Yeah,
today,
I was about to say he's actually under pressure from Jens Roos.
He is. I was looking at the
because
complete.
Brown is already P2 and he's 2.8 seconds behind Capuzzi, so he needs that win.
I can go say
David Capuzzi is not contending for the championship, but still, he will not want to let that guy take his P1 away. Ericsson is actually under pressure now from Roos, which is less than 5 seconds behind him, so it's pretty much all to play for here. There we see Jens Roos now recovering the gap towards Barrett in P4. Capuzzi is... Brown has overtaken Capuzzi. What happened? There we see the Aston Martin taking the lead of the race. That's a huge moment.
He went
David Capuzzi... I think Capuzzi made a mistake into turn 1.
Yeah, Capuzzi has been having a lot of issues. Maybe it could be the tires, something. Maybe because once the night is going out, I think the track temperature gets a little bit colder.
Oh, and Joe Brown getting a little bit out of shape, the right-hander. Capuzzi now all over him, look.
This is the fight for the lead.
They will have to use the lapped car to their advantage, otherwise this will compromise somebody. They need to overtake the violet Porsche before the bus stop. Otherwise, they're gonna lose time.
I'm thinking David Capuzzi needs to wait for the next corner because if he gets him here, I mean, Joe Brown can still get him. I mean, sorry, too late, but technically overtaking here comes to your disadvantage. Because,
Joe Brown is going for it.
Look at that. Is that a lapped car? Yes, it is. It is. Rob Milliken has been lapped.
Yes.
Yeah, Rob Milliken is on blue flag.
Yeah, he's on blue flags, but it should give him a bit of a tow.
Davide Capuzzi didn't lose much time.
Look at Joe. Look at Joe staying high to break the toe for David Capuzzi.
Yeah, and the Aston Martin has got tremendous top speed. Look at that.
I mean,
Joe Brown really able to build a breathing space between him and David Capuzzi. That is critical for the championship.
This is a big distance to lunge, I would assume, but maybe he needs to wait for the next lap. It looks like his braking is really good.
The braking, though.
Yeah, look how much distance he closed up.
Yeah, the Porsche and the braking has been the car to beat in many occasions. I remember Road America and Patras as well. Round 2, the Porsche was incredibly powerful on the brake. There we see Barrett Ericsson.
You forget Istanbul.
I mean, the feed is telling me that he's only 1.8 seconds behind Nigel Middleton, which is the P3. But I think him being under attack by Lewis Middleton puts him in a compromised position, because he you know, what can he do but defend or attack? It's a bit of a tricky situation to be in.
Nigel Middleton is on blue flags though. He's 2 laps down, fortunately. So I don't think the Porsche is gonna attack the BMW.
No, Nigel Middleton is ahead of Barrett Ericsson, Lorenzo.
He's the other Middleton.
Yeah, he is in
the
position.
other Middleton.
Yeah, that's the position for the podium. That's the P3.
No, but the white Porsche, which was now behind Barrett Ericsson, that's on blue flags. So
yeah, I was referring to Nigel. My bad, I was referring to Nigel,
okay.
not Lewis.
Yeah, Nigel Middleton is in front now. I'm not sure whether Roos is losing time now, because he's now 3.9 seconds behind Ericsson. We know Roos has the pace to close that gap. Not sure what the strategy is with that.
Yeah, as we get a yellow in sector 3, and David Capuzzi still can't get that distance right to get the pass done.
It's very risky as well to pass into turn 1.
I mean, the race is long. They can work
with the temperature dropping.
I see no point of fighting. I mean, track position doesn't matter at this point, at this stage, since they're that close. They could work together if they want to keep the tires. Because we don't see Joe Brown defended that much, is he?
David Capuzzi was able to get a good traction now. Let's see what he can do in the right-hander. The Aston Martin really has an awful lot of top speed. The Porsche is able to close the gap on the braking, but not enough.
Yeah, we have another bad news, unfortunately.
Oh no, Da Silva.
Yeah, Gila Silva had to DNF. Not sure what happened. I mean,
it's a shame. He was running in the P3.
Yeah, that gives a free position to Labelle, but leaves us to only 3 cars in the P class. I wasn't expecting that.
Barrett Ericsson is now all over Middleton. 1.5 seconds and decreasing. If these two were to battle, that would benefit Jens Roos tremendously. There we see Jens Roos in the background trying to recover with the Ferrari. I think Barrett Ericsson knows this. He knows he has to be patient again.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Barrett Ericsson has been put in the I'd like to call it the strategy games, where he preserves his tires, doesn't defend much if he sees no benefit to him, and plays his strategy and applies it as he plans to. He never alter it, as we always see him getting his fuel right, tires right. I'm sure he's done his homework, so he's always been the wiser guy, which gave him 2 wins consecutively.
Yeah, that's how you play the game. That's a, Alain Prost kind of style. You wait for your occasion. You wait. You just lurk and wait.
As we see Gutierrez pass Joe Brown.
Johnny Gutierrez, passing the leader in GTE class. Capuzzi now falling back to 1.5 seconds.
This is a win on a golden table, isn't it, for Gutierrez?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, he knows he got the better pace than Harper, so all he got to do is finish the race, and
and overtake the GT class safely.
And if I'm not mistaken, become a champion.
He is already the champion
Yeah. I mean, confirm it, because he's 9 points ahead of Talviti, so he would be now 44 points ahead of Talviti. That's one way to insert dominance.
Even if Johnny should Johnny DNF now,
he would still be champion.
He would retain the lead.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Johnny Gutierrez effectively has become the champion in LMP2. Oh, what's going on there? He just touched the apron. That's very dangerous. You don't want to do that.
I mean, Gutierrez, if he's not racing anybody, he's racing the time. He's trying to get better lap times. That's Gutierrez you'd love to see.
Bart Ericsson now less than 1 second behind Middleton. That gap is coming down, boys.
It looks like the drivers haven't been able to get a good exit from the early start of the banking, because that's where the point where you need to be so close, so that at this point when you exit the bus stop, you need to be as close as you can, or a bit behind, about car length, so you benefit a lot from that split stream. But it looks like Barrett is a little bit far. It's not gonna give him anything to do here. He can't lunge. So all he has to do is wait for the next lap and focus on getting a good exit through that banking before the bus stop.
Oh, there we see Jens Roos beating.
Yeah, he's
That's critical for the race.
I was trying to look at data to see who pitted, but apparently it looks like Jen Rose is the early one to go for that pit, apart from the last runner, Lewis Middleton. Nobody had pitted yet, except from Jen Rose right now.
Sorry to interrupt you. Bart Ericsson is all over Middleton now. Barely half a second between the two drivers. Look at that, the BMW really working well as they now re-enter the banking section. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this time he's a bit close. It looks like Nigel got a poor exit, so Barrett is closing on Nigel Middleton. Yeah, this is a good place you want to be in. You just have to make sure you get this exit of the bus stop as clean as you can.
Oh, Nigel Middleton sideways in the middle of the bus stop. He was able to get away with it and actually get a good run
out
of the chicane.
To me, Lorenzo, all the other drivers has been using the curbs except Barrett Ericsson. He's keeping it always two tires on the white line, which I'm not sure. I think you're allowed. There hasn't been any specification on what to do and what not to do.
Oh, and Barrett Ericsson pitting.
Yeah, he's going for the pit. Let's see what this will put him when he exits, though. I'm not sure how the undercut works here, but
no, he's reacting to Roos, I think.
Most likely, but Roos is way too far. He's about a minute now behind Barrett Ericsson.
Yeah, so because he had a minute and 5 seconds of pit stop. That's why.
So
Nigel Middleton really has to go for it now.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. There's a famous word I learned Italian, which is called spingere. You gotta push the car. In these the lap, you see the opponent pitting or behind you pitting, it means it's time for you to push, because each time you spend it on the track, because each time you're on the track, you're losing time unless you pit. So you have to extract every bit of grip you still have.
Barely 1 minute of pit stop now for Barrett Ericsson. He is coming out already. Still in the pit lane though. It's a long pit lane.
Yeah, he got overtaken by Ed Jones, but Ed didn't pit yet, so that shouldn't be the focus.
There is Capruzzi. Lapping in 1 minute and 9 seconds. Let's see what Middleton does now. That's the question mark. I guess that the position in which Barrett Ericsson re-emerged on the track is pretty good. David Capuzzi is on a faster pace at the moment. So Barrett Ericsson really have... he doesn't have clear track, exactly, but still. Bit of a toe from David Capuzzi, maybe. So that's pretty good. Harper now 46 seconds behind Gutierrez. That spin really didn't help him much in turn 1. Still a long race though, so anything.
It is a long race. It is a long race for Andrew Harper. He's in P2. He's in the podium. It's nothing to be prepared for, or to be to have a counter pit for. You're basically in the podium. You can only go up or down, and if you go down, it's still a podium. So it
gap is constantly rising though. Johnny Gutierrez really being able to being consistent. That has been the game changer in the championship. Johnny Gutierrez has been the most consistent driver.
Yeah, it also releases the pressure off of you when you know you've secured the position. I mean, in the sim world, you still have the hardware issue, but you kind of get that sort of a relief that lets you focus.
Yeah.
And makes you.
Joe Brown in the pits. There we go. Now Joe Brown is the runner-up in the championship. He needs to win the race to actually hope he can, he has to do the maximum he can. That's winning the race.
But it looks like Capuzzi was ahead of him, because Joe Brown now is behind Capuzzi. It's going down to 20 seconds. What happened to Joe? He must have had
I have no idea, but maybe something happened between him and the traffic. That may be the reason we were getting the yellow flags. Ericsson now P4 and approaching the he's about to enter the speedway section.
Yeah, but it looks like the overcut works way better, because we see Barrett Ericsson is a little bit way behind than what he was before. Not too far, but he can still see him since it's Daytona, mostly straights. But the overcut kind of works. But not sure.
Middleton in the pits. That's the thing we want to look at now. Barrett Ericsson is before the bus stop, as we see Joe Brown coming out on the track. I reckon Ericsson is gonna get P3 now. I think he's gonna get P3.
Most likely, if we don't plunge him with the commentary curse, then yes, he has a great chance of getting that.
He should be in the last part of the track now, as we speak. Yeah, there we go. He's in the last part of the oval.
Yeah, looks like Middleton is spending some time in that pit, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to another 25 seconds at least. So effectively, Barrett Ericsson is gonna go ahead.
Nigel exiting.
Yes, look at that. It's gonna be close. Ericsson on the start-finish straight. Yes, Barrett Ericsson is ahead. Look at that. He's just gone around the horseshoe. Yeah. So Barrett Ericsson really making the strategy work now, as he chases Joe Brown. Great effort from Barrett Ericsson.
Yeah, so I got confused because I saw Lewis Middleton, and I thought that Nigel already pitted, but it looks like Jen Roos also got past Nigel Middleton. Not sure if he
yeah, so the undercut really working well. The gap between Roos and Ericsson is pretty much doubled. He's about 8.5 seconds now. But Middleton is really the one that lost out badly. So it was P3, is now P5.
So apart from Capuzzi, everyone else behind them, P2, P3, P4, P5, they all pitted except Capuzzi. This is good news for Joe Brown.
Yeah, he's gonna be awarded P1, but now Ericsson is gonna be really close to these guys.
Yeah, as we see David getting out of the pit. And he's about 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds behind Joe Brown. So yeah, the undercut worked pretty damn well.
And Lorenzo, look who's on the podium.
Barrett Ericsson.
Our driver.
That's the move you want to do for the race. That's securing the championship right there.
I have to admit to you, Laurie, I'm becoming a fan of Barrett Ericsson. I am becoming a fan. I mean, at some point I might request his signature or something. I'm becoming a fan. His strategy,
he's really putting on a show.
His strategy always impresses me. He knows how to implement a good strategy. let's make this comment a jinx-free. I'm already saying it, but this guy's always been a genius when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, he's been able to read the races in the most accurate way. He's able to, predict what the best strategy and the best timing to pit is. That's been the case here in Daytona. He really nailed the in lap. So he was able to both undercut Middleton and gain seconds on Jens Roos. So he really killed two birds with one stone, in a way. And same goes to Joe Brown. Joe Brown was actually five seconds behind Caprucci, something like that, 2.5. Oh, and
we see Labelle losing it a little bit,
recovering from a spin.
Yeah, but
braking.
His last position is a podium, so.
Yeah, he's one lap down though. It's really tough race again for Michel Labelle.
At this point, yeah.
As I was saying, Roos and Ericsson really making the undercut work. Caprucci and Middleton are the big losers from this strategy for now. Caprucci is still in contention for the win, barely 5 seconds behind Joe Brown. Roos is 9 seconds behind Ericsson. You gotta keep in mind, guys, 3 laps before the pit stop, Roos was all over Ericsson. They were battling for that P3. So that tells you how of a good reader Ericsson really is.
So it looks like from some homework done by Sam, looks like the Ferrari has 87 liters of a full tank, and the Porsche has 100 liter, as well as the BMW of a fuel. So that could contribute to the time you spend in the pit. Good information there by Samir, and very useful, because we saw that was it Joe Brown that he took a lot of time in the. Or was it Caprucci? But one of them took a lot of time to fill that car, because the tank is a bit larger than what the Ferrari has. It's an 87 liters, so we have no Ferraris, so it's all except from Rose.
Yeah, Roos. Yes.
No, I mean in the top 3, except from Rose, it's just Porsches and BMWs.
Nigel Middleton are recovering towards Jens Roos. There we see the red Porsche making progress. Caprucci cutting the gap down to 3.4 seconds now to Joe Brown.
Yeah, he was lapping Ed Jones.
So yeah, Caprucci is actually at the moment is Ericsson's best ally, because he's the one putting the pressure on Joe Brown.
Yeah, that's the dream for Ericsson to see, because if these guys fight, that's all good news for Ericsson. It's gonna keep.
Yeah, Ericsson is the guy in advantage in big fashion, because not only is 33 points ahead, but he can really relax now, because he's P3. P3 is going to be enough for him to win. So position is good enough. Brown is under pressure and he has to win. You are 33 points clear. So it's really a great situation now for Ericsson.
And how about this? Juni Gutierrez, his last lap was 2 seconds faster than Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's lapping on average 0.6 of a second faster.
I mean,
than Harper.
He's gonna be about 4 or 3 laps ahead when this race is over, isn't he?
I mean, we are halfway into the race and he has 2 laps on P3, so yeah, that's not too far, man. He could have about 4 or 5 laps on the guy in P3. Johnny Gutierrez is really on a class of his own at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a little bit saddened that we didn't get to see the P battles, the P1 battles, or the P2 battles, because I'm sure it would have been very intense between Tony, Goaty, who else? Jason, Labelle. all these guys, they've been putting a good show. It's kind of a...
Look at Johnny Gutierrez, he's on it, he's pushing.
Yeah. I mean, when you're racing and you know deep inside you secured the win and you still pushing this much, I mean...
that tells you a lot about
it does.
How you approach the event. Really want to watch Johnny Gutierrez. He's going to be one of the drivers we are looking forward to see in next series. He's really, look at the gap he has on Harper. Harper must have made a mistake there.
Yeah,
he lost like 30 seconds.
It's 81 seconds going up to 82. That's
yeah, and last lap round was 56. So that's about 28 seconds worth of gap.
Yeah, the LMP
lost in one lap.
The LMP2 field has been spread up, hasn't it? It's everyone is doing his own race right now. And I must say, what had happened to Lewis Middleton is very... I mean, I don't understand. He's been putting good work in the last races, but this one seems to be always on the back runner right now. Kind of a weird.
We cannot say the same about his brother. He's now barely 1.5 seconds behind Jens Roos and really putting on a fight.
Yes.
As we see Johnny Gutierrez now coming up the lap. Nigel Middleton trying to recover the P4 on Jens Roos. There we see the white and the red Ferrari up front.
I mean, this is great for Nigel.
Yeah, this is what you want to see. Nigel has to get that P4 back. Oh, look at the line on the bus stop. Jens Roos was not very fast out of the chicane. As we now come to the oval. Harper must have got damage from an earlier spin. He's in the pits again.
I mean, you want to hear this, Lorenzo. Nigel Middleton and Lewis Middleton are only separated by 2 points. 56 and 54.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
huge.
In the leader championship.
And Nigel Middleton is actually now fighting for P4 while Lewis is 2 laps down in P8.
Yeah, I mean, Nigel Middleton is really, it's been a good race for him today. He's been averaging the 10th place position according to the data from SimRacingOnline, but it looks like this race is looking good for him. As he's closing up on Jen Rose. Jen Rose must be feeling the pressure right now.
The Ferrari is working really, really well in these low corners though. Must have more downforce than the Porsche maybe.
Yeah, I mean, on this race, based on what John Vidigues said, the LM aero package has been allowed. It's been not allowed to use it in the all of the races except this one. So everyone now has the LM aero package, which gives you about, if I'm not mistaken, about 15 to 20 kilometer extra speed. So not sure what Jim Rose is running the LM package. I'm sure he is, but maybe he's added a little bit extra downforce on it, which.
Yeah, and I can confirm that Harper did collect heavy damage from a spin. He's now been in the pits for almost 2 minutes, so he's going for repairs.
Yeah, look like Andrew Harper is... And Michael Labelle is about 36 seconds behind. He's getting to the bus stop.
Yeah, but he's 2 laps down though.
Andrew Harper must exit. I mean, he's missing his rear wing, if you take a look.
Yeah, he must have collected big damage. Yeah, I told you.
I mean, Michael Labelle
has to keep pushing. You never know what can unravel during the race. It's been now 2 minutes since Harper has been into the pits.
Yeah, but Harper exiting though.
There you see Harper. Labelle is getting 1 lap back probably. There you see Labelle at the start-finish straight.
I mean, their pace has been a little bit similar. I mean, Michael Labelle has put a 139 best, and Andrew put a 137. That could vary on why, but Michael Labelle is in great position right now. He's only about 4 seconds.
Michael Labelle has now come back to... Harper is pretty much on the same lap.
Yeah, and don't forget, I mean, I'm not sure how R-Factor 2 does the damage, but I'm not sure it's fully healed, which means Michael Labelle has a great shot, isn't it? Doesn't he have it?
Yeah, and also Jens Roos has now been overtaken by Middleton, didn't it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, the Porsche is ahead of the Ferrari, so
we missed that because
we missed that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had to look at where Andrew were gonna be when he exits because he took a lot of time, about 1 minute fixing the damage. But
the Ferrari is now chasing the Porsche, so.
Yeah, but it's been the other way around. It's been Nigel chasing the Porsche, and it's looked like they're gonna trade. Oh, and Jen Rose misses that apex.
Out braking himself.
That would save
Nigel Milton really getting it around for it out of the chicane.
That would save Nigel for one more lap because it looks like the Ferrari does really well behind cars, but it cannot lead. So maybe Jen Rose needs to work with Nigel instead of just passing him, because what would that do but get you being overtaken again, you know? Kind of a tricky situation to be in. But let's see if he has the pace to keep up with Nigel Middleton, because Nigel Middleton is really on a good show right now.
Nigel Middleton now having to use Rob Millikan as a decoy, really, to escape from the Ferrari.
Yeah, but
Ferrari working pretty damn well in the second sector. I told you, in the corners the Ferrari is amazing. On the straight line the Porsche looks to have the upper hand, but yeah, the Ferrari is.
Yeah, Michael Labelle has gone wide.
Labelle spun while entering the oval.
Yeah, this is not great. Labelle needs to up his game. His consistency in this race hasn't been as it should be, because I mean, clean laps is all he needs. Michael Labelle, stay away from mistakes that could cost you a good 20 seconds. I mean, he lost about 20 seconds now because of that spin. He just needs to focus. There's no pressure on Michael Labelle. I mean, if I was his manager, I would tell him you are in the podium place. All you gotta do is go up and focus.
Yeah, keep it consistent.
Indeed. It looks like Michael Labelle is having a bit of issues. Not sure. I mean, he doesn't have damage to me, but it maybe the tires, the cold temperature. Something is not letting him put in the laps he really wants. Because when you see the driver doing those kind of mistakes, it means that he's pushing the car, but it's not responding the way he wants it to. Or it could be just a mistake. As easy as that. As David Capruzzi is closing up on Joe Brown.
Gap is now down to 3.4 seconds. He's been oscillating between 3 and 4.2 basically seconds. So David Capruzzi keeping Joe Brown honest at this point.
I mean, not sure if the
that Porsche looks great in the
it
night,
does.
by the way.
It does, especially that green. It looks like it's glowing.
Yeah.
It kind of is. I mean, not sure if the viewers or the one who's watching the video, which will be uploaded to SimRacingOnline if you are watching from it right now.
Joe Brown, sorry to interrupt you, Naz. Joe Brown went slightly wide at the horseshoe, is now gap down to 2.8 seconds.
Well, hasn't been Joe driving the Porsche so much? Feels weird to see him in the Aston.
He's been switching from back and forth between the Porsche and the Aston Martin.
Yeah, it feels weird to see. I mean, when I see Joe, I'm expecting to see that livery on a Porsche, but it looks like he kind of reworked it to fit the Aston, and he's rocking the Aston right now.
Pretty much, yes.
I was saying
about... Yes, Roos is now 1.5 seconds behind Middleton. Middleton keeping the gap constantly at 8 seconds towards Barrett Ericsson.
Yeah, but I was gonna refer to something before we saw what was happening to Joe Brown. This race isn't as long as, I don't know if the viewers noticed, but it wasn't as, I mean, we missed about 20 minutes or 10 minutes, but this is a long race than the other ones, isn't it? I don't know if people noticed that already.
It is. It's just over 1 hour and 8 minutes left, so it's pretty long. But still,
yeah, it's 2.4.
the intensity is still amazing.
Yeah,
it's
but
very much all to play for yet.
The distance has doubled pretty much. It's a 2.4 hour race, so you get a yellow flag again.
Gutierrez in the pits. He's been putting qualifying laps.
He is, because
why shouldn't he? He's literally on a qualifying session.
I mean, why shouldn't he, Lorenzo?
On race day.
When you're about 2 laps ahead of Andrew Harper, why shouldn't you put a quali lap? I mean, he could.
Yeah, and that colorful livery actually makes it stand out.
It does. Wasn't he the one that ran in the Repsol livery on the last race?
Yes.
Yeah, Gutierrez always. I mean, this one looks different than the one before a little bit, isn't it? It's a little bit different.
It's more elegant. It's more racy style. It's a livery you would expect to see in a real WEC car.
For sure.
Great looking car, really.
I think the livery of the car fits the driver as well, in my opinion. You feel there is a connection between the livery and the driver, something representative about it.
It's no compromise.
It is quite a good-looking livery, isn't it? Look at that. Almost feel like I want like a replica of this, like a toy, so I can have it on my shelf.
Yeah,
I'm sure you do, Lorenzo, with your 10,000 collectible cars.
Big modeling file, yeah. I love model cars, but I guess it's now time to focus on Capruzzi because he's now closing up on Joe Brown in front. Gap is coming down by the eye. Now 2.3 seconds. So you can see the Aston Martin right there trying to escape the Porsche. Porsche really great car all season long. Aston Martin has been all over the place pretty much. Has been leading a few races, then it was really slow on some occasions. Ferrari and Porsche have been the one constantly at the front with Pastore and Capruzzi.
And look at that, Lorenzo.
And as we know, the BMW has been the overall meta car, let's say, with Barrett Ericsson at the wheel.
David Capruzzi 4/10 faster in the last lap compared to Joe.
Yeah,
it's quite a pace.
He gained quite a good amount of time.
The gap is for sure going down. But early race for now to decide what's gonna happen to Joe. Ed Jones is sitting in a beautiful P6 position, but he's about 67 seconds behind Jen Rose. What can he do? It's not in a position to strike. He pitted once only.
Just keep it consistent, as many drivers should. Just keep it consistent and exploit every occasion you get. It's still a long race, so
it is a long race. It is a long race, yes.
Just keep the pace at a constant level and make sure to not get any damage.
It looks like Rob Milliken is rocking a purple livery today. Quite a taste for Rob Milliken.
Yeah, the Wins sponsored Porsche. That's a pretty famous livery in motorsport.
It is indeed. But it hasn't been a good race for Rob Milliken. I mean, it's a P7. It's still in the top 10, but I think he didn't perform as he was expected today. He's about 48 seconds behind Ed Jones and 57s ahead of Lewis Middleton. So he's in the middle ground. His best lap was actually faster than Ed Jones. His last lap also was faster by almost 2/10 than Ed Jones. So it's how much
Ed Jones and Rob Milliken are on the same lap. So the battle's still going on.
It is going on. There's still an hour left. Not even an hour. It's out of 4 minutes. So it's close. It's gonna be close. If it stays like this, it's gonna be close. Andrew Harper. It's about a lap down from Juni Gutierrez, and also a lap down ahead of Michael Labelle. Michael Labelle hasn't been able to keep the pace to fight with Andrew Harper. So it looks like Andrew Harper
he
always
also
gets...
collected damage from a spin a few laps back. He had a pit stop of about 2 minutes.
Yeah, but now
so that's why he's now a lap down on towards the Harper.
According to the data that I see, Andrew Harper Michael Labelle couldn't just put can't put good lap. He's been struggling all over, even before the damage that happened to him.
Capruzzi now really closing up to Joe Brown, is now 2 seconds behind him. We see Andrew Harper tackling the fast left-hander, coming now towards the heavy braking zone and the right-hander hairpin. Jens Roos now 1.3 seconds behind Middleton, still very much battling him for P4. And the two drivers battling, that plays into the hands of Ericsson, as we said. Ericsson really the winner in most of the situations here.
Yeah, Ericsson has the upper hand here. He's about 67 seconds behind David Capruzzi. It's close to a lap, but I mean that's the best position he wants to be in. He just has to cover Nigel Middleton about 7 seconds behind him, but overall he's doing great, Barry Ericsson. David Capruzzi is on the run. It looks like he's always stuck in that 2 seconds. He's chasing Joe Brown for the lead. About 1.9 seconds. He can see Joe Brown, but it looks like he's just not. He's trying to preserve his tires a little bit, and not push and not destroy the tires. There's still an hour left. I'm sure they have to pit one more time, if not twice.
At least one more time. But gap is coming down steadily. Less than 1/10 per lap, but consistently lower.
But if you know Capruzzi, we know Capruzzi always puts consistent laps, so I think we should give the props to Joe Brown for also keeping it consistent and keeping it under the 2 seconds between Joe and David Capruzzi. So you gotta give both credit to both drivers.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
And the same goes for Jen Rose, about 1.4 seconds behind Nigel Middleton. They've been going back and forth, these guys. I mean, Nigel started it, overtook Jen. Jen had a bit of pace to get past him, but looks like he made a mistake on the bus stop. But then again, as we cross the 1 hour mark, Jen Rose is still on the hunt for that P5 or P4. He's in the P5 currently, he's hunting for that P4. The lap has been
red Porsche.
The lap I was going to say it's been pretty much the same. A 46.886, a 46.935. That's as close as it gets. They're very much on the same pace on the last lap. It's getting closer and closer, 1.2 seconds behind Jen Rose and Nigel Middleton. this is not that far, and the straight looks like he's losing a bit of time. Maybe Rose is running a high downforce, as Lorenzo said. Not ideal, but it preserves your tires in the Sector 2 and the entrance of Sector 1. It also gives you better braking, which we can see Rose closing on Nigel in the braking, but in the straight lines you see Nigel Middleton take I can't even get a word right. You see Nigel Middleton going away in the distance as that's a P2 car. Yeah, Michael Labelle passing Jen Rose right now, which dropped the gap.
That's the red Oreca of Michael Labelle.
It dropped the time to 2.3 seconds. This is tricky because you don't know when what's gonna happen, because the margin has been the same like this. The same goes for Capruzzi. It's always in that 2 seconds mark. Maybe it could be.
Yeah, but Capruzzi is gaining constantly, 1/10, 1.5 tenths.
Yeah, but he's not able to close for position to overtake.
They're probably just reacting towards each other. One makes a fast lap, then the other does, and it's a back and forth game. It's really an exhausting psychological war, really, on the lap times.
For sure. I mean, probably David Capruzzi could be thinking that it's too early at this stage to pass, and if we're on the same pace, maybe it's wiser to not attack now and just stay behind and follow him, get consistent laps. It could be that, or it could be anything, but all we know is that he's stuck in that as he's closing down to, it goes down to almost a second and keeps going up to 1 second. They're different cars, a Porsche and an Aston. One has a slight advantage on, I see David Capruzzi going a little bit wide there. Porsche has a bit of an advantage on the braking, and the Aston seems to be faster on the straight line. So
Aston Martin has a very powerful engine. Porsche is probably the most, it's the trickiest mid-corner because the Boxer engine has a very, very low center of gravity, but it's tricky to control. Overall, the Porsche has been one of the most reliable cars in the modern GT class era. So the Aston, on the other hand, has been one of the fastest, but not one of the most reliable. Historically speaking, the Aston Martin has won Le Mans 24-hour twice, but at least one of the two Aston Martin running that race DNF'd. So you can tell it's a pretty extreme car compared to the Porsche, which is a more compromised vehicle, optimized for endurance racing. It sacrifices a bit of performance for a better overall car for long distance.
Yeah, Aston Martin looks like they have potential, but they've never been able to actually show what they can do, especially because of what you said about reliability issues. Nonetheless, we go on board with Johnny Gutierrez, comfortably seated on the lead.
Johnny Gutierrez launching the car into the corner.
He's
not giving up one single inch.
He is not giving up.
He wants to stun everyone.
I mean, as a driver, wouldn't you the same, Lorenzo? I mean, it's just a flex.
I guess so, yeah.
As he passed Lewis Middleton.
With the speed differential between the LMP2 and the GT car, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. A lot of gap Johnny Gutierrez has built between Andrew and Michael. We see the red.
Yeah, almost 2 laps, 1.5 laps.
It is 1.5 laps, yeah. It's a big margin. As Barry Ericsson, we see him on the background, coming up behind Michael Labelle. Andrew Harper is trying to overtake Jen Rose, or Jens Rose. I'm gonna have to ask him his name so I can get the spelling right. Look, he goes a little bit wide. I think because of the P2
that's actually bad. That's a bad move from Jens Rose. He could have literally denied Andrew Harper and just let him pass on the oval. He lost quite a bit of time there.
Yeah, he tried to go wide to try to fix it, but it was a mistake from Indeed from Jen Rose. Should have waited a little bit, or you know, understand the respect going on between the guys, but the GT cars are not obliged to leave the space or wave from the racing. He stays on his racing line and let the LMP2 car do the job of passing. But of course you can't block it. So we have another yellow in sector 1. Yeah, it's Michael Labelle again with another spin. And what a bad position to be in. It's the first sector.
He lost one lap again, or Harper.
Yeah, this is the fourth mistake to Michael Labelle. I mean, he is lucky nobody's behind him, because this could have been very costly, especially in this stage of the race.
Good on him though for waiting the right moment to rejoin the track. That's a good piece of driving.
Absolutely, like how I said before when I was talking about Gen Rogues, the respect these guys have is off the chart. Because you have to know, I mean, when you watch, it's easy to say that, oh, you can just wait. But when you're driving and you make a mistake, there's some sort of desperation for you to just get back in and
yeah,
get those
you have to do that without really having an unsafe rejoin, because we know stewards from other leagues have been really exaggerating on penalties for unsafe rejoins. They would literally just distribute them like they were I don't know, flowers. It's really been strange with a few stewards this year. We have witnessed some weird decisions and you know, kind of inconsistent judging, but it's not been the case in this series. The stewards have been absolutely on point all season long, and I'm sure they will have a look at Michael Labelle's, and I don't think he deserves anything. He waited for just the right moment to rejoin without impeding anyone, and that's a good piece of driving. I really appreciate what these guys have been doing.
Absolutely, Lorenzo, but I was trying to prove a point that as a driver, when you make a mistake and you spin, you try to reach on as fast as you can, because you're trying to retake all the time you lost. And for you to wait and see that time goes down as you wait other cars to pass, takes a bit of respect to have, a bit of a sportsmanship for you to know that it's not just your race, it's everyone's race. So you gotta be respectful, because you know something goes wrong with your car. It's okay. What happened had happened, and keep going forward. Wait for the guys to go. If your race is ruined, at least don't ruin the other guy's race. And this is what we see in SimRacingOnline, and this is what makes this racing beautiful and fun to watch and to stream. It's that the respect that's going on between these guys has always been off the chart.
Indeed it has.
I mean, I'm sure Lewis. I'm not sure about the relationship between Lewis and Nigel, but it looks like their pace is a little bit different. Maybe Lewis hasn't had time to practice or something, but it looks like Nigel Middleton is really outpacing Middleton, or Lewis to be precise, so the watchers don't get confused. She's not expecting.
Yeah, maybe a setup issue. Probably Lewis is not comfortable with the setup.
Might have been this, because as easy as Daytona looks, it's still a little bit tricky, because you have to get a track that is fast in the straight line, but also a little bit grippy in the sector 1 and 2, or at least the half of sector 2. So in order to do that, it's kind of a Le Mans type of track, but with a banking. Le Mans still has a lot more corners, obviously, but this one has less, which always gives you that urge to go with absolutely no downforce. As we see Middleton go through the bus stop, gets it done right, keeps it on track. It's a good exit.
Yeah, good line through there.
Yeah, as I was saying, the track is a little bit tricky to get right, because you want speed and grip, but a little bit of grip and more speed. And when you do that, then you get hit with a shock of whether you can actually drive that car or not, because it is not easy, because these cars don't have ABS. They have traction control if I'm not mistaken, but no ABS.
They have a similar system. They do not have the classic traction control. They have a system that erogates just the right amount of power out of corners and cuts the engine in the proper way, measuring the wheel spin of the car. And it's a really tricky. I mean, it's more difficult to explain how this works than the way this actually works. It's a really simple system that imitates traction control, but it is not like traction control. And ABS is, again, most of the modern GTE cars have electronic system that really is set to set the brakes up in the proper way, to find the right temperature and the right brake bias for the car. I'm not sure as though they have ABS or not. I should have to double check that.
I mean, I have drove this car with Samir, and it does not have ABS in the game. You cannot adjust it in the car. You can only adjust the traction control. They don't come with ABS, unlike the GT3, which they come with ABS and traction control. So I can confirm on that. So Rob Millen going a little bit wide on the bus stop. Lost him a little bit of a time, but he's about 55 seconds ahead of Lewis Middleton. Nothing to be stressed about. Wasn't a major big mistake, but could have been costly if there was any driver behind, but that's not the case. And Jones is about 83 seconds ahead of Rob Milliken. And in the default livery of the BMW, as he gets lapped by Michael Labelle, chooses to stay on the high side of the banking.
Yeah, that's usually the other way around. GT cars usually stay low and allow the prototypes to go the long way around the outside. But still, as long as it's safe, it works properly, I guess.
Yeah, when there's no battles going on, it can be the same. Jen Rose is about 5 seconds behind Nigel Middleton. He hasn't been able to, because the pace was about 2 seconds dropping down, and now it's going up to 5 seconds.
He wasn't able to become a threat, to challenge for P4 as of now.
Because if you remember, Lorenzo, Nigel overtook Rose, and now it's Rose's job to just stay behind, and it looks like he is behind about 5 seconds. I mean, any mistake from Nigel could put Jen Rose.
It's still very much up for grabs, that P4, but still.
Indeed.
Yes, Roos not able at this stage to really put pressure on Middleton.
If I was him, I would be.
I expected Roos to be quite faster than he is for now. Maybe he's fuel saving for the end of the race.
He could be fuel saving, because I was gonna say, if I was Jen Rose, I would start considering my pit stop when it's gonna be.
Yeah, and GT cars are about to pit. I think it's coming down to a few laps for now, I think.
Yeah, because everybody has pitted only once, except the P2 cars ahead, the Guti and Andrew, they pitted twice. The rest of the car, apart from the last driver, which is Lewis Middleton, who pitted twice, everyone else only pitted once. And did about 55 laps in the GT class, 59 laps in the P2 class by Gutierrez.
Yeah, they're gonna do a splash and dash for the last 40 minutes, I reckon. We're about to see the GT cars starting to go into the pits for the final stop. Capuzzi is falling back now. He lost 1.3 seconds in the last lap.
Yeah, it could have been a mistake.
He's now 2.5 seconds behind Joe Brown.
Could have been a mistake, but his laps has always been a little bit, about half a second slower than Joe. But he's still there. He's still pretty much a contender for that win. As we see Nigel Middleton going through the turn 3.
Yeah, we just saw Barrett Ericsson go through. So
Yeah,
Nigel
that's
Middleton
different position.
Keeping the gap constantly in a suitable window for him, at least end of the race.
It's only about 6 seconds behind Barrett Ericsson, and Barrett Ericsson has been lately doing a great job keeping that car ahead of Nigel Middleton. It's the battle for position 3. It's not a battle yet, but it would be a battle for the P3 if Nigel Middleton gets his pit stop right. But we know that Barrett Ericsson does not miss on his pit stop, does he?
He does not.
About to cross the 40 minutes mark. As we see Barrett Ericsson going for the pit. Speaking of which, that's a livery that's gonna stay on our memory, isn't it? The blue, faded black. Quite a livery for Barrett Ericsson. Memorable, I would say. This would mean Nigel Middleton will pass Barrett Ericsson, but provisionally. So, as Jen Rose, is also in the pit. I think it was a great call from Jen Rose to pit as well, at the same time as because he wasn't really doing anything when he was stuck behind Nigel Middleton. He was, if anything, he was just losing time. So I think he did the right call by going to the pit. He looks like he's changing tires. As Nigel Middleton is fleeing away, should be now on the maximum push because he knows the guys are about to be out. As we see, Barrett Ericsson is already out with brand new tires, enough fuel for him, which technically this will be possibly the last pit stop. As Jen Rose is still in the pit, about 25 seconds has passed. Jen Rose should be exiting right now as we see him exiting. Spent about 25 seconds in the pit. Quite a good time. Not as much. I'm sure he changed the tires and added fuel. Should be easy on the tires until they build up the heat and then start pushing. Now it's all a matter of where Nigel Middleton would be when he pits, because so far he still didn't pit yet. As we see yellow in sector 2. Nigel Middleton now is in provisional P3. Decides not to pit in this lap. Not sure if that was quite the move to do. Or maybe he feels there's more grip on the tires. His last lap has been a 147 and it's about 2 seconds slower than David and Joe, but those guys are way ahead fighting for the lead. But if we compare it to the last lap of Mr. Barrett Ericsson, it's been a 156 because it's an out lap. But the best lap is quite the same, 46.5, 46.3 from Nigel and Barrett Ericsson.
It's more about consistency.
I think Nigel Middleton might have been conserving his tires because he wasn't going. Because we've seen that maybe Jen Rose wasn't pushing. It was just Nigel Middleton preserving tires that looked like Jen Rose. Because we don't know for sure. This is just speculations.
We know for sure that now they can go full push until the end. They can even go with quali mode.
He can. He should be actually. Not he can, but he needs to be on quali mode because
they probably just did a splash and dash to finish the race. I doubt they would put extra fuel, especially Barrett Ericsson. Doesn't need to.
He does not. I mean, we can speak for Barrett Ericsson and say that he knows exactly what he's doing when he pits. He knows the precise fuel he needs to put.
Yeah, but logically, you would, in his position, you would not risk adding more fuel to the car. You would do that if you were to attack. So if you're the runner-up and you want to catch Barrett Ericsson, then you want to do that. You want to put extra fuel and push. But if you're Barrett Ericsson, you just want to take the slight amount of fuel that you need to finish the race in a comfortable place, in a comfortable position, and just nurse the tires to the end. There's no need to, you know, run risks at the end of the race with 38 minutes left.
Absolutely not. As we see, Joe Brown in the distance made a bit of a lock-up that gave Mr. Capruzzi a shot to be under 2 seconds, my apologies, behind Joe Brown. I think David Capruzzi lacks just about half a second max of pace in order to get behind Joe. Looks like Joe is always able to build that gap, no matter what Capruzzi throws at him. But so far, the gap has been in the 2 seconds, not going up and not going down. We come back to the... I mean, to me, Lorenzo, with that green going up from the back windshield, it looks almost like an SLS if you look at it from a distance. With the wing.
Yeah, it does. It does remind of a big front engine car, which the Aston Martin is, by the way.
Yeah, it does look like the old SLS, if you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. The early 2010s.
Absolutely,
model.
exactly what I was talking about. Exactly, yeah. I missed that car. Oh, we see David Capruzzi going wide there.
Oh, that's a big shame because David Capruzzi was closing.
Yeah, he was closing. I mean, Capruzzi needs to pit. He's done enough now. He held it through that 2 seconds. His best option now is to pit. I think he was getting ready to pit, which might have cost him a... And that doesn't look like it. He's still going for 1 lap. Not sure if that's the right move. Nigel Middleton also decides not to pit yet. Interesting strats by the drivers.
Apparently, yeah, it's a pretty interesting strategy that Nigel Middleton is doing.
Because I think he sees that Barrett Ericsson last lap was a 47.4, and my apologies, Nigel done a 47.2. That's faster. I mean, besides Jen Rose who's doing a 46.2, Barrett Ericsson didn't seem to find the pace to push Nigel Middleton to get that pit as early as he can.
Then again, Nigel Middleton needs to speed up if he wants to keep that position, because that's not going to be enough to keep Ericsson at bay.
Absolutely not, but he knows that whenever he pits, he will exit with fresher tires, so he's not in a losing position. He's between defensive and attacking position right here. As we go back to the leader of the LMP class, Johnny Gutierrez and his Jumbo livery. This Loren makes me want to buy an ice cream. This livery. It's
really colorful. It's
yes.
a really great livery. Yeah.
Quite tasty. Great pace by Johnny Gutierrez. 2 laps ahead of Andrew Harper. Did 2 pit stops, best lap of 1:35.7. About 2 seconds faster than Andrew Harper. Tremendous job by Mr. Gutierrez.
Joe Brown in the pits, by the way.
Looks like Joe Brown is heading for the pit, indeed. So, provisional first position for David Capruzzi. He lost about 3/10 at the butt stop when he was chasing Joe Brown. Let's see if the undercut. We saw that the undercut works really well. But depending on how much fuel you're gonna put, if you're gonna change tires, obviously you'd have to change tires. This will shake up the field a little bit. Nigel Middleton, 57 seconds behind Joe Brown. He would be about 15 seconds to 20 behind Joe when he exits. So there's no threat from Nigel Middleton towards Joe Brown. As Joe Brown exits, David Capruzzi really needs to start thinking about pitting right now and thinking about his strategy. How is he going to react to that as we have a yellow in sector 1? Not sure what happened. the GT field is spread up, but that's due to the fact that the David Capruzzi and Nigel Middleton hasn't pitted yet. Nigel Middleton is able to put a 146. I know he's on low fuel, but that still is a good lap because Jen Rhodes is also on a 46.4, and Barry Ericsson looks like he's fighting his own pace, doing a 46.5. About a second faster, a 1.2 second faster than Nigel Middleton. Nigel really needs to pit. This is all the time he's spending on track is losing. He's
probably lost that big time already. Nigel should have pitted earlier.
Yeah, I got lost in my words. What I was trying to say is that Nigel Middleton is going to lose time every time he spends doing laps on right now.
And he's got to do a full lap now.
He has to pit. Not pitting now would be suicidal. Don't you think, Laurie?
I believe Bart Ericsson had this planned already. I think his timing in the pit stop has been amazing all race long.
Absolutely, no doubt.
In the BMW is stronger than the Porsche on raw pace as well. So, as I said, Bart Ericsson is in a situation where he has many advantages. Not only raw pace, but points and timing, pit stop time, fuel management, the tire condition. He's probably kept the more life into the tires with the, let's say, tranquil pace he has had. A very kind of, constant, but not over the line pace for the last 12-15 laps. And that's going to cost Middleton the P3, I reckon. Middleton, as we speak, is in the pit lane.
Looks like we were going to get an interview from a guy who possibly retired, but so far we didn't get the chance to talk to him. As we see Barrett Ericsson attacking the bus stop. He's been really respectful with the white line, didn't he? He was always keeping it two tires on before the white line. Or outside the white line.
My prediction is Ericsson will be in front of Middleton by about 15 seconds.
Yeah, Middleton is in the pits.
15 to 20 seconds.
Wow, that was a very fast pit stop. But surely Ericsson...
But it's not going to be enough.
No, absolutely not. But it will be enough to leave Jen Rose behind.
There we see Ericsson has made the pass. There we go.
Yeah, Michael Labelle struggles a little bit there. But Jen Rose...
yeah. Michael Labelle was very slow in the middle of the horseshoe.
Yeah, he was.
There we see the BMW going by. Middleton can still recover that P3 though. It's not over yet.
Oh, absolutely. But it looks like it dropped Jen Rose about 10 seconds behind Nigel Middleton. It looks like Nigel Middleton literally had like a splash of a fuel and possibly didn't change the front tires, possibly the rear. You would want to change the rear because they're the one that get beat up a lot. Depends on the style of driving. Sometimes the front, but most likely the rears.
Considering that Middleton has a mid-engine car, you would go for a rear tire change.
Again, to those drivers watching, if you feel like you want to be interviewed, feel free to join us on Discord, and we shall talk to you. Yeah, looks like if we go back in the race, Jen Rose lost about 10 seconds compared to Nigel Middleton. Nigel Middleton will be on the fresher tires, assuming he changed them, which I don't think he did, as Jen Rose is passing a lapped car, Ed Jones. About 107 seconds behind Jen Rose, which he will be lapped as he passes him. He needs to yield right now. He's not put him into a bad position, but he was just trying to stick behind. He's about now one lap. He has the right to attack because he's not in the blue flag.
I don't think he's going to go for it though.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. He's not fighting him. It wouldn't make sense. Ed Jones is about 12 seconds ahead of Rob Milliken, so there's no chance of fighting a left car.
And also, what I was concerned about is that Jens Roos he has been beaten for now on raw pace. His strategy was on point. I mean, his strategy was always to be the last GT car to pit, but that didn't pay off. The undercut really was the winning strategy today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So absolutely.
And Capruzzi is yet to pit as well, didn't he? He didn't pit, I think.
No, he did not. He's about 57.
Yeah, he did not.
No,
He's extending pretty big time.
Yeah, it looks like he was saving when he was behind Joe.
I'm not sure what he's trying to accomplish though, because I reckon he's losing time now.
I mean, his last lap was a 47, about 1 second slower than Barrett Erickson did when he exited. And if you want to hear this, Joe Brown did a 45.0. That's almost 3 seconds.
Oh man.
What is David Capruzzi thinking? We have no idea. He needs to pit immediately.
Yeah.
Johnny Gutierrez.
Brown and Ericsson are gonna be threatening David Capruzzi's place if he keeps going.
Yeah, if you see on the...
He needs to pit this lap, absolutely, no question about it.
Get another yellow in sector 2. Apart from Rob Milliken, Capruzzi has been decided to stay out. A smart move to do, especially if you lose in 3 seconds. Not sure if he has a timesheet next to him or a live timesheet.
I have no idea. I don't think he's realizing though how bad staying out really is, because he's losing now 2 to 2.5 seconds per lap.
That's quite a lot.
Towards the guys in front of you, towards the guys behind him.
That is quite a lot. I mean, obviously he's not a threat to. He could be a threat to Barrett Erickson. I mean, it's this the other way around. Barrett Erickson could be a threat to Capruzzi if he chooses to stay out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
As we see LaBelle go into the pit. So it's prepping his car, trying to rev it as we get another yellow in sector 2. Actually, we'll be getting a lot of yellows in sector 2, especially. I think because of the lap
has pitted.
Finally, Capruzzi decided to pit. Yeah, but Laurie, he spent a lot of time out. He should have been pitted.
Yeah, he pitted way too late.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the right move to do.
And he's changing the rear tires only, as we thought.
Yeah, because we saw the back going up, and there he goes. I mean, still, he's gonna be about 10 seconds, possibly 15 seconds. As we see Joe Brown flying through that banking. I think the speed touches. Go ahead, Sam.
He might be ahead of Brown.
Yeah, he will be ahead of Brown.
I don't think so. I think Brown is gonna take it though.
No, he's already out. He will be ahead of Brown, but for how long though? It's 25 minutes left.
Brown is gonna come behind him very, very, very quickly. So.
Yeah, as we see Jen Rose.
Not sure that was the right call.
Nigel Middleton about 1.9 seconds behind Barrett Erickson.
He will have new tires though, so.
Yeah, but Capruzzi has only he only changed the rear tires.
No, also the front. He changed both of them. I believe David Capruzzi now is gonna fly away if everything goes well.
Capruzzi has to hope that the tires come alive, because otherwise Brown is gonna be all over in a few laps now. And also Middleton gaining on Barrett Erickson is now 1.3 seconds behind the leader of the championship. Gap coming down.
Yes,
it's 1.2 now.
Lapping 1 second faster.
Yeah, there we see Barrett Erickson on the start-finish straight, and then Very, very close and coming up fast is Nigel Middleton. Look at the Porsche gaining on the braking.
Yeah, tremendous braking by the Porsche. It's been the car to pick if you really know how to utilize the braking. That's been the case for Nigel Middleton as he gets close.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
he's really, really close to Bart Ericsson.
It's like using the new style. And Middleton is on new tires. Completely different.
Yeah, but it looked Barrett did it at the same time as Nigel Middleton, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. On lap after.
Let's see how long this can stay. We're about to pass the 22 minutes mark as they go through the back.
Yeah, now the Porsche has a real run towards Bart Ericsson. Let's watch from the onboard as they now go towards the bus stop in the oval section. Look at the Porsche gaining on the BMW. He's gonna go for it.
Yeah, it looks like he hesitated. No, he does not want to go.
Off.
Smart move by Nigel Middleton.
Another corner you want to use to overtake.
Absolutely, because he knows the exit of the bus stop.
Run out of it though. The Porsche does have the speed, but the
Indeed,
BMW has
what a smart move. What an absolute move.
Look at the Porsche gaining on the draft.
Yeah, is Barrett gonna defend?
Tremendous power
Maybe not.
From the Porsche now going around the long way on the outside.
This is gonna be side by side.
At its finest. Yeah, side by side through the oval section. They come down towards the finish line.
Yeah, it looks like Barrett Ericsson will still have the inside.
Who's gonna get it under braking?
Yeah,
the Porsche struggling to slow the car down.
Struggling to stop it.
And he goes slightly wide.
Nigel
Great piece of driving by both of these drivers.
Nigel is really trying his best.
Look at the Porsche.
Yeah, he's trying his best to get past Barrett Ericsson, but Barrett Ericsson is holding it up so far. Nigel is not giving up anyway, as he's still looking for any possible mistake by Barrett Ericsson. But we know Barrett Ericsson has really good consistency, but this should put a little bit of pressure on him. So, let's see how this plays out as they go through.
Look at the difference in the lines that they take through the corners. The Porsche is able to stay more narrow on exit, while the BMW is kind of wanting to get more track. So really, the Porsche has to gain under braking. That's really the only way. And obviously, draft plays a big part.
Absolutely.
But he has to try it here. Look at the speed differential there.
Yeah, he has to force a move, but I think he knows that the exit of the bus stop is the important one because it's the longer straight. So he's thinking about getting a good exit.
The Porsche now has a good run.
It goes a little bit wide.
Oh man, slightly wide.
Slightly wide, but still in the split stream.
Nailed the second part of the chicane.
It's still good for Nigel because he's in the split stream. As they get led by Johnny Gutierrez, the split stream is doing its job. Barrett chooses to stay on the inside. Nigel Middleton goes up. He puts his front of the car ahead of Nigel Middleton. He needs to focus on his braking. Barrett Ericsson decides is trying to put that car close to the wall, gets it right. Nigel Middleton's still behind for one more lap. Wow.
Barrett Ericsson really positioning the car in the perfect way. Now, Nigel Middleton just needs to apply the pressure. Barrett Ericsson really keeping the car on the track by the edge of it. And what amazes me most is that Barrett Ericsson has been able to match the Porsche braking power in the first corner. That's the game changer for now. Barrett Ericsson has to keep that Porsche at bay in the braking area, just because the Porsche looks to be more stable. The BMW is a bit wobbly under braking.
David Capuzzi puts a 1:44.5, the fastest lap of this race. Wonderful lap, the best lap so far in this race in the GTE class. As Nigel Middleton decides to go for one more round, he knows that getting past Barrett Ericsson in this part before the bus stop doesn't make sense because Barrett Ericsson would still have the tow. So he always chooses to stay behind and get a good exit. So far he hasn't been able to get an exit. Let's see if he will be able to get it now. Looks pretty good, goes a little bit outside, might get a warning for that, but still...
Yeah, he gets compromised by the outside curb.
It looks like the split stream.
Needs to...
It could be the split stream that is playing a little bit.
Yeah, it's closer this time though. It's very close.
It is close. Maybe Barrett Ericsson.
Look at Barrett.
Yeah, he's side by side.
The inside, the Porsche going side by side are gonna go side by side towards the finish line. I reckon the Porsche may have a chance now. Nigel really needs to nail the braking zone.
He really needs to, but it looks like Nigel is hesitant.
Barrett, look how deep the BMW is able to go.
Yeah, I don't know if the BMW is deep.
Incredible stuff.
It's a little bit deeper, Lorenzo, but it looks like Nigel is a bit hesitant to throw that car because he doesn't want to lose it, which is a bit protective way to do it. It's still about 18 minutes to go. Maybe he's saying, I still have time. I still have about 18 minutes. I'm close enough.
Oh, and Capruzzi 1:44.380. Great lap.
Yeah, he's smashing it. It is literally hammer time for David Capruzzi as he's about to lap this. He's about to interrupt this battle going on between Barrett and Nigel Middleton. He's about to lap them. So let's see.
Oh, and there you see Middleton trying to make a move.
Yeah, he was sneaking up.
Too far back.
He was having a look up the inside, but Barrett Ericsson is having none of it right now. As David Capruzzi is watching that battle unfolding ahead of him. As you can see from the point of view of David Capruzzi, sees two cars ahead of him battling, but when he gets close, they will be under blue flag. So let's see how is this gonna go, because this could either be in favor of
Middleton getting out of shape at the entry of the bus stop.
This could be in favor of Nigel, but also could be in favor of Barrett. So I'm sure there will be blue flag. It's still not yet blue flags. Not sure what the distance is to be in.
Capruzzi has to dispatch these guys before turn 1, otherwise he's gonna get compromised.
Yeah, but it looks like Nigel will be the one compromised. Maybe not, because he's passing him in the straight line, so technically he might be passing Barrett. Yeah, he goes on the inside. Nigel Middleton sees it.
One.
He sees that, but still can't get anything out of it. Wow, it looks like nothing changed, Laurie, after David passed.
Pretty much. Barrett was able to get away with that. The Porsche is still very much close to him now. Let's watch the onboard from Nigel Middleton. He's now has the force move. Barely 16 minutes left, so you want to start and disturb Barrett Ericsson in the worst of ways now. Barrett Ericsson really going deep with that BMW under braking. Great stuff. The Porsche in front of you might actually help in the oval section.
Yeah, but how long Barrett Ericsson can keep these up? He has about 16 minutes precisely to keep Nigel behind him. It's a podium for Barrett Ericsson if he can keep it this way.
And what a way it would be to win the championship by having a podium in the final race.
Barrett Ericsson has been doing great races. The same goes for Nigel Middleton. Really fantastic race for the guy. He's been doing great. He's been doing horrible in the last races, but this race he's shined, and he showed. The pace has been high in all these races.
Oh, good run for the Porsche now.
A really nice exit. Decides to go up the bank, and not sure if it's the smart move.
I would use more draft before moving out.
Yeah, you should stay in the draft. Looks like he is a little bit tempted to stay on the top, because you are going up to a longer radius, which means you will exit with higher speed, but it's still a longer distance. As we see, gets a little bit close, but then again goes up the bank, and you see the distance going up again. So I think he needs to focus on staying on the inside as we get yellow in sector 2. Barrett Ericsson is really consistent in keeping that car in.
Good defense as well.
Absolutely wonderful defense by Barrett Ericsson, keeping the inside line all the way out from the exit of the bus stop. Not giving any chance for Nigel Middleton to look up the inside, because the moment he does, it's a position loss for Barrett Ericsson. I mean, Laurie, I haven't been able to go through any other car, because this is the most heated battle we have now so far. It's
this is the closest battle in the race.
Yeah, it's only about 40 minutes left. We have Jim Rose about 16 seconds and Joe Brown about 5 seconds, but it doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere close to David Capruzzi, and I'm sure we will cover that if that deems to happen. We're trying to see how this would unfold, because it's been now 3 laps, and Nigel Middleton still can't find a way to get past Barrett Ericsson, because the pace has been the same. but the braking power seems to be in favor of the BMW a little bit, because we know the Porsche is also good, but it's just that slight advantage to the BMW. Gets the exit right. This is looking good. He needs to stay on the inside, not going up. Stay on the inside of the banking. Get as close as you can and go up. There you go. This is the move that it almost like he can hear me out. This is the moment, the thing, and stay, and he needs to squeeze him.
Good from the Porsche now, side by side. On
yeah, Nigel Middleton needs to stick on the inside. He always goes up, which puts him in a bigger radius. But he goes, oh my God!
There we go.
What a late break by Nigel Middleton.
Wide.
Oh, lose the car, but they touch.
The lead, they touch. Great piece of driving there by Barrett Ericsson. He was able to retake that position. Great stuff.
What a lunge by Nigel Middleton. Almost a heroic move. Could have got him the position, but still not yet enough to get him past Barrett Ericsson. Standing like a wall, a brick wall. Barrett Ericsson. What a great fight. As we try to calm down.
Middleton went incredibly deep on the brakes.
Yeah.
How did he slow down that Porsche? I will never know.
Joe Brown has been closing up on David Capuzzi. Last lap was a 46.6, but looks like Capuzzi decided to go back. Maybe he was running a quali preset when he did the 44.3, because he's been doing 46.8, same as, I think, slower than Joe, because he's about 2 tenths faster. Other than that, Joe Brown is also still in the hunt for that lead. He has about 12 minutes to do so.
Another lap, another run. That's cool.
This time Nigel Middleton is far back though. Towards Barrett Ericsson. The draft is very much powerful at this stage of the race.
Yeah, but this is what he needs to do.
To try and make a move like he did before.
Exactly.
Speed differential is pretty fine. They're gonna go side by side again on the finish line. Yeah, Barrett can see the Porsche on the right side, and Middleton again.
He goes on the inside, gets the move done. What a good job!
Great job.
Absolute fantastic job by Nigel Middleton. I was not expecting that, Laurie. What a great job by Nigel.
Great move.
What a relief. What a relief after about 4 laps. But this doesn't mean that Barrett Ericsson is out. He's still right behind him.
Barrett Ericsson is gonna try something for sure.
He has 11 minutes to do anything. Because look at the braking. Look how close he gets when he brakes.
It doesn't have enough power on the braking compared to the Porsche. Porsche was the strongest car on the braking. Nigel Middleton exploited that to the finest. That was a pretty damn good move.
It was indeed. But Barrett Ericsson will get the slipstream for the first banking coming up to the bus stop. Should be enough to close the gap a little bit, going down to half a second to the bus stop. He needs to do what Nigel was doing. I think Barrett Ericsson is to stay in the slipstream. Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, there's Joe Brown, a blue car passing. Goes a little bit wide there. Not good for Barrett Ericsson. It's gonna slow him down. This is not good.
Oh, and he almost hits the wall.
Really good for Barrett Ericsson, because Joe Brown slowed him down a little bit when he went wide as we crossed the 10-minute mark. It cost him about 1.5 seconds, so Nigel Middleton now is free in the distance up, but he will be blue flagged by Joe Brown when he passes him. Joe Brown, speaking of which, is about 4.2 seconds and closing up. Not sure if 10 minutes is enough, but it's closing down. About 3.5 seconds as we speak, as he's trying to go past Nigel Middleton. Barrett Ericsson knows that Lewis Middleton is also exiting, should be blue flagged, should let the other cars pass, so he will also join this battle. At least he will get to witness, even though passing these guys will just mean unlapping himself. Lewis Middleton will see his brother or his relative in the podium. What a great stuff for Nigel Middleton. So we see Johnny Gutierrez still leading by 1 lap ahead of Andrew Harper. Last lap was 1:39. Looks like his pace dropped a little bit. Not sure why. Maybe he chose not to change tires, which wouldn't make sense, but could have been also lap in cars about 1:39. 1 minute 39 seconds. A little bit slow than what he paced because his last lap is a 1:35. But he's safe from Andrew Harper, which he himself is about 3 laps ahead of Michael Abel. It's been quite a calm scene in the LMP field. Nothing interesting happening except a few mistakes done by Michael Abel. They got a bit close at the middle stages of the race, but it looked like he couldn't take any advantage from it, which now looks like he's about 3 laps now. Not looking good for Michael Abel. Obviously to get any P2, but at the end it's still a P3 podium position for Michael Abel. As he's about to pass Lewis Middleton. Should the 911 refer to the 911 or the 911 of the USA, but still a good Easter egg there. As Michael Abel is also crossing that finish line now in turn 1, turn 2. He hasn't been to the performance he was expecting because he's done quite a mistakes that could have possibly. Oh, as we speak.
And as we speak, we jinx it for him.
As we speak, throws a yellow in sector 1. Absolutely a race to forget for Mr. Labelle. As Ed Jones closes up on him. He should consider himself lucky enough because there's no one else behind him. What a blessed position to be in. To know that whatever mistake you make, you will always get the podium. It's just a matter of finishing the race.
So he was also on used tire, and you know it's very hard to drive in these tires after a long stint.
Yeah, but even before Sam, it was a little bit of a.
He was struggling. Yes,
it was a struggle indeed. It was a struggle.
Overall, this series, I think he made a good big step in his driving. He can
absolutely,
next season,
absolutely.
As you know, there is a new season coming up in the 2 weeks. He
indeed.
might be fighting.
Tuning in for that. Make sure to hit up SimRacingOnline, and you'll see all the series coming up, which one of them will broadcast as well. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you can register. It's free. Make an account at simracingonline.co.uk. Race for free. Have fun. As we see Barrett Ericsson about 1.6 seconds behind Nigel Middleton, the guy who stayed about 4 laps behind him in order to pass. So 5 minutes left for Barrett Ericsson to do anything to snatch that position, as Jen Rose is about 15 seconds behind, getting passed by Johnny Gutierrez. He's not under threat of anyone because Ed Jones is about a lap behind. So Jen Rose needs to just keep laps, stay on track.
Yeah, just drive safely.
No heroic move, and he should finish, and he's at P5.
I don't want to say, but Joe Brown is catching up.
Yeah, Joe Brown has been catching up to David Capuzzi all along. I mean, he closed down from about 9 seconds all the way to 2.9 seconds, even though we saw David Capuzzi was smashing those lap times. Joe Brown was still able to close that gap, dropping down to 2.7 seconds. Is it going to be enough in a matter of 4 minutes to get something done? Because we know the lap times here aren't that big, so it should be about 2 laps to go. Pretty much, yeah, but
you can see him Come on.
He absolutely can. He absolutely can, which will put some confidence. But as we saw, Sam, Nigel Middleton took him about 4 laps to get past Barrett. Obviously, it changes from driver to driver, but we know there's that. Closing up is something, passing is something else.
Yes, but he might don't rush it too much because it's the last race, and he can close the championship. But who knows? Who knows?
Absolutely. I mean, Joe Brown and Barrett Ericsson are 2.2 second behind each of the guys ahead of him. Barrett Ericsson is also closing up on Nigel Middleton. They have about 3 minutes to get the job done. Whether that's going to be enough, about to find out. Looks like Lewis Middleton didn't have any action this race.
The lemon package. Otherwise, he was with the Nigel Middleton throughout the whole series.
So you believe Lewis Middleton didn't pick the Le Mans package?
I believe so.
Yeah, because this is poor performance by Lewis Middleton, and this is not where he belongs. He belongs in the top 5 field. There's a yellow going on in sector 1. Not sure what happened precisely. Oh, David Capruzzi! David Capruzzi lost it. He lost the lead to Joe Brown. What a turnaround of event!
I hope he doesn't damage. He can keep trying.
I mean, Sam, when you lose a position at this stage, wow, that's very sad for David Capruzzi.
He deserved to win today.
He really deserved that, but that's not. I mean, Joe Brown now is about to party crossing that finish line. David Capruzzi just said, you know what? Get the first position, just have it. Wow, that was a big mistake. Definitely not expected from David Capruzzi, the fastest man on the GT class. Yes, Sam.
It's very hard to do it with these cars, especially without ABS, and also after 2 hours and 40 minutes of driving. It's normal doing mistakes, but very unlucky.
But Sam, this is good news for Joe Brown. He's gonna be a race winner.
And he is also the championship winner.
Is he? Because Barrett Ericsson is P4.
Hold on, let me do the math because
I think Sam has to do some homework right now to see if Joe Brown can beat Barrett Ericsson in terms of point, because we were not expecting Joe Brown to win this race. This really is changing up to something we're not expecting at all, as Barrett Ericsson can't do anything now to get close to a Nigel Middleton, but keeps it at a 2.4 second. As we show you guys in the car, as a custom livery by Barrett Ericsson, always been on the same livery pretty much every race I've seen him. One of my favorite drivers so far in terms of strategy and consistency wise. What a turnaround of event. What a turnaround of event. I was not expecting Capruzzi to do such a mistake. It cost him very dearly. It cost him a win. Obviously, it wasn't going to put him in as a champion, but it's a win. It was obviously going to put him in the top 5 of the driver's standing. You could feel anything but sad for Mr. David Capruzzi. He must be now thinking about it, but he shouldn't. Race is over.
Barrett Ericsson
in terms of time,
the winner of the championship if he does P4.
Barrett Ericsson is the championship. Is that confirmed by Samir? Can we confirm that?
Yeah. Yes, I can confirm.
Well, we're gonna talk about that after we see Johnny Gutierrez crossing the finish line. He was gonna be the champion no matter where he finished in this race. He will be the champion because he's a race winner too. What a beautiful way to finish the race. Johnny Gutierrez crosses the finish line.
4th win of the season.
It is the 4th win of the season. He's the champion now of the S397 Endu Series, GTE and Oreca. Congratulations, Johnny Gutierrez. Fantastic driver, fantastic job. All the series. Joe Brown also crosses the finish line as he drives side by side.
Give the win.
Did Joe Brown give the win to?
Whether this might this
Was
has
that?
to,
Was that? Did Joe Brown really give the win to David Capruzzi?
yes.
And it says that Barrett Erickson finished P3. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, Sam.
Yes. I think
Nigel Middleton gave the win to Barrett Erickson.
so pretty much Capruzzi won because Joe Brown gave the win to
Gave him the position. I think he.
at
That's the most friendliest thing I've ever seen in racing.
yes.
It usually doesn't go like that. When somebody takes the position, he wins. But
I believe Joe Brown thought
I
okay.
think Samir.
He deserved the win.
I think we just saw a friendship just
Yes.
created in
Yes.
front of our eyes between two drivers, Joe Brown and David Capruzzi.
Racing you can see.
This is the biggest, the most sportsmanship I've ever seen between drivers. As we're going to show you guys the results. My apologies. So, for the race winner, the champion of this series, Johnny Gutierrez. Congratulations, P1. Absolutely inserted dominance in this league, in this championship as well. Andrew Harper, P2, Michael Labelle, P3, and unfortunate DNF for Gilles and Roger and Jason Wyatt. As we go now to the GTE class, David Capruzzi, a winner of the race. He was not going to be, but Joe Brown gave him the win. P2, Barrett Erickson, the champion of this league. Congratulations to the man, my favorite racer of this league. Can't be biased, but I have to be a fan. P4 for Nigel Middleton, P5 for Jen Rose, and we have an issue. It should be a P6, but it's a P6 for Ed Jones, a P7 for Rob Milliken, a P8 for Lewis Middleton, a P9 for John Vidiguest, which was a DNF. Unfortunate that he didn't get to take full race in this race. And Didier Coelho in P10, and Brett Metcalf finished in the last place in the GTE class. Wow, Sam, 2 champions, Johnny Gutierrez, Barrett Erickson. What a championship, what a race. What a race. The race
was fantastic.
Unfortunately,
we had the issue in the beginning with the factor, but today the race was pretty incredible. I think we had everything. Fair battle, sportsmanship, because what Joe did at the end was something incredible.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It looks like
between the Porsche and
Yeah.
Middleton and the
Yes, Sam.
Ericsson. That was incredible. The turn 1 thing, wow.
It was incredible. And well, as we close down this championship, 6 races. It's been nothing but, as we see Andrew Harper taking that car back to the garage, it's been nothing but excitement, close racing, 2 winners pretty much every race. A lot of fun. This championship has been a lot of fun to watch and be part of. Hopefully you guys, the watchers, whether you're from YouTube or with us on Twitch, hopefully you enjoyed this whole series. If you haven't seen the last ones, make sure, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go back and watch the other VODs. It's been wonderful. We're glad that we had the opportunity to be part of this. Again, we confirm and reassure our thanks to the SimRacingOnline community for letting us be part of this. And we can't wait to bring you guys more fun races to watch with us, me, Sam, Lorenzo, and sometimes Will when he's not racing. So thank you everyone for being a part of this. Thanks to all racers for attending this. It's been fun. It's been great. We can't wait to have this one more time. And from all of us, thank you very much. Anything to say, Sam?
See you in Malaysia on 3 April.
I guess that's a hint.
The new GTE 3 with the DPI. It's gonna be pretty incredible. We're
not
gonna
sure.
see Joe Brown, all the other guy. There are new driver joining.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if any other drivers wants to be interviewed, feel free to drop into our voice general chat, and we'll be happy to bring you in for any comments you have. If not, it's perfectly fine. Looks like I don't know. I'm not sure if Lorenzo is gonna come back.
No, Lorenzo is not gonna come back, but
Yeah, maybe
he
he had some
wanted to
issues,
leave. Like
but other than
he liked
that,
it and everything.
it's all good.
He's very happy.
It's all good. I'm sure he's also happy to be part of this. He'll be
Yes.
with me in the next event. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you go check out SimRacingOnline.co.uk website. Also check out their YouTube channel. Plenty of videos there. All our VODs are also uploaded there. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a follow to the Ether Twitch channel. We have a lot of races coming up, whether it's in R Factor 1, R Factor 2, possibly Assetto Corsa Competizione. We also have an anniversary coming up, so make sure you tune up for that. There will be a giveaway. Don't miss on that. And other than that, from me and all the team, thank you very much for watching. We can't wait to see what this community will bring us for the next series. And on that note, I would leave you guys to have a wonderful night. And I'm gonna should we wait, Sam, for drivers to join? I'm not sure
If
anyone would want.
Let's see. Hold on. If someone says something.
I think people are short on time, so not sure if we're gonna get anyone.
So.
We had Ken Jagger with us before. We're fixing the issues, but not sure if anybody's gonna make it. So
I believe we can close right.
I guess on that we will say our goodbye, and we wish to see you in the race in Sim Racing Online or with us here watching. Thank you for watching again, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.